afternoon, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now live at 4.
It's Friday.
And Michael Bruno's back in the house this weekend here.
Yes, we're excited for the weekend.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Yes, that's for sure. So let's get started. Here's what's making news on this Friday. Sunflower Days kicks off today, but things are different for the Middleton event, as for the first time ever, people will need to pay an admission fee.
The Milwaukee Children's Hospital says 8 teenagers hospitalized this month had seriously damaged lungs, likely caused by vaping.
And the House Committee on Oversight and Reform is hearing from patients in need of life-saving drugs today about the rising costs of prescription medicines.
Let's take a look outside today on this Friday. Great day on the bike path.
Yeah, it really is.
Not too warm. It's been a beautiful week.
Yeah, the clouds sort of kept the temperatures down for a while, but it's going to be warm and humid with storms perhaps this weekend. Dave Caulfield is in the backyard where it's not sweltering.
Yes, not yet, at least. I don't think it's going to be too sweltering this weekend, but a little bit warmer, a little bit more humid for Saturday and Sunday, and we could be dodging some storms for a lot of those outdoor activities planned for this weekend. Doppler track showing a severe thunderstorm watch well to the north and west across portions of Minnesota and far northwestern Wisconsin. For us, a little bit closer to home, we've seen a cluster of showers and thunderstorms develop across portions of south central Wisconsin, shall we say. Columbia County picking up some light rain, moving a little bit closer to the Fox River Valley there. And so not too much to worry about with that cluster of storms, but maybe a few more raindrops for some of us over the next couple of hours. Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam, I don't think that is one of the spots that will pick up some more raindrops. We're looking at partly sunny skies right now. Temperatures are in the mid-80s, some upper 80s, near 90, a little bit closer to the Mississippi River Valley. Dew points are starting to come up a bit as well in the mid-60s, closer to 70 degrees in Mineral Point. So that humidity will stick around this weekend and could provide the fuel for some showers and thunderstorms, and some of those could be strong as we head into tomorrow. But for tonight, expecting mostly dry conditions, at least for the short term, with temperatures falling through the 80s and 70s over the next 6 hours or so. So let's take a look at your first alert traffic update. Rimrock Road and the Beltline, no major accidents or incidents showing up here. Starting to see those normal slowdowns for a Friday afternoon on the Beltline. No major accidents or incidents across Dane County. Traffic generally moving out at the posted speeds, although we are starting to see some brake lights on the Beltline. Verona Road eastbound to John Nolan, that's 14 minutes with an average speed of around 20 to 25 miles per hour. Nice breeze blowing into the backyard here. And eastbound John Nolan to the interstate, 8 minutes with an average speed of around 35 miles per hour. And that is your first alert traffic update. We will time out those thunderstorm chances for things like Sunflower Days and the St. Denis Festival this weekend in your first alert forecast.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. First at 4, as Dave was just mentioning, Sunflower Days is back and in bloom starting today.
For $4, park visitors can visit acres of sunflowers. Gabriella Becerra joins us now from Pope Farm Conservancy from the park there with how the Pope family and the town of Middleton are at odds over an admittance fee. Gabby?
When the park was sold to the town of Middleton, the family says they made it clear that they did not want guests to have to pay to visit the park. Now that's changing this year with an admittance fee of $4 to Sunflower Days. The town of Middleton is running the event and says the $4 covers shuttle rides and admission. There is no parking at or around the Pope Farm Conservancy. There are designated parking locations with shuttles to transport people every 30 minutes to the park. And when the town took over the event this year, they hired an organization to help. The town minister says that's why they're charging guests.
We understand and appreciate their concern. We want to be very respectful to them, but this is a joyous occasion. We want to share the Pope Farm Conservancy with the public, with beyond the town of Middleton, and this is a way for us to do that.
Dave Zorb, Pope family spokesperson, says they are not opposed to Sunflower Days, but they're not happy with the environment in which the town is running it. The town of Middleton says that they hired the outside company to help keep this event safe and fun for all who come and visit this week.
All right, Gabrielle, thank you very much.
Thank you, Gabby. Doctors in Milwaukee are trying to figure out whether vaping put 8 teens in the hospital with seriously damaged lungs.
The Children's Hospital is calling vaping an epidemic. Our Amanda Quintana is here with what doctors are saying about all of this. Amanda?
Yes, well, while the Wisconsin Department of Health Services is investigating the possible causes of those illnesses, the Children's Hospital says vaping is the common thread in all of these cases. All patients reported vaping in the weeks and months prior to being hospitalized. Their symptoms were shortness of breath, fatigue, chest pain, cough, and weight loss. Some of the 8 patients have shown improvement, but others need assistance in order to breathe. The hospital says the number of patients in such a short time frame is concerning.
The popularity of vaping is obviously skyrocketing among our kids, and its dangers are still relatively unknown. And that's why we're so concerned, because these are teenagers who are facing the rest of their lives.
According to the CDC, 1 in 5 high school students last year said they used e-cigarettes in the last 30 days. In 2011, it was about 1 in 50. The Children's Hospital is urging parents and teens to be aware of the potential danger. The hospital is saying because vaping is still so new, we don't know what the long-term effects could be. So you really don't know what could happen years from now.
Very concerning. Thanks, Amanda.
The Trump administration is looking beyond North Korean missile tests on Thursday as it strives to revive stalled nuclear talks. North Korea released these photos today of Kim Jong-un watching the test fire of 2 short-range ballistic missiles. CBS News has confirmed the U.S. had no warning that the missiles are going to be launched, indicating North Korean technology may be improving. President Trump downplayed a North Korean missile test when he called into Fox News' Sean Hannity last night.
I think with North Korea, we've been doing very well, but that doesn't mean it's going to continue. We have a relationship. President Obama had no relationship. You would have been at war. Had Hillary Clinton won this election, you'd be at war right now with North Korea.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo suggested Thursday's test was a negotiating tactic. Pompeo says talks with lower-level diplomats should start in the next couple of weeks.
Patients who depend on prescription drugs and have felt the impact of skyrocketing prices told their stories to lawmakers today. As witnesses shared their personal struggles, some members of the House Oversight and Reform Committee were moved to tears. Katherine Johnson reports from Capitol Hill.
This committee hits home so much.
House lawmakers became emotional listening to patients impacted by skyrocketing drug prices.
The drug costs more than my car payment, more than my business insurance, more than my food bill each month.
Pam Holt, a school teacher from Indiana, had to refinance her home to pay for her cancer medications.
It was 3 years from being paid off, and now I'm starting completely over.
Sarah Skipper, who has type 1 diabetes, rationed costly insulin with her sister, who also suffers from the disease, a decision which almost had deadly consequences.
She went into diabetic ketoacidosis, had to be hospitalized for 4 days. The veins in her body blew.
The committee says drug companies have raised prices on more than 3,400 medications just this year, and this hearing is part of an investigation into those actions.
We can't pay just any price the drug companies demand.
Lawmakers at the hearing vowed to work together to come up with a solution.
It's our job to make certain that these companies don't rip off the patent system, don't rip off the taxpayer.
Democrats, Republicans are looking at this very, very closely.
Just this week, senators voted to advance legislation to lower drug prices. The House is also working on its own bill to do the same. Katherine Johnson, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And I just wanted to...
Many House lawmakers had already left Washington ahead of the hearing for a 6-week summer break. Congress returns from recess in September.
In news around the state, a vigil was held last night supporting the family of 2 missing Wisconsin brothers. 35-year-old Nick and 24-year-old Justin Diemel have been missing since Sunday after they went to Missouri on business. At a baseball diamond in the town of Navarino, people gathered for a candlelight vigil in hopes of finding and bringing home the men. The rental car was found in a commuter lot on Monday with the engine running and the lights on. Authorities say they're searching buildings, ponds, and waste piles, but have yet to find any clues.
There's more at 4 tonight. When we come back, it's a movie that's getting a lot of buzz.
We'll preview Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's when Live at 4 continues. The holiday shopping season may seem like months away, but toy makers, distributors, and especially social media influencers are picking their favorite toys now.
Right. Pop Pop Snots is expected to be a big hit this year. But if you're not into splattering slime, the toy event in New York City offered plenty of alternatives. Baby Shark, Juno dolls, a high-tech Pictionary, and the PJ Masks are all expected to be big sellers this year. There's also a growing number of toys straight from YouTube influencers themselves, like Ryan's Toys Review. We profiled Ryan here on Live at 4. The second grader has over 20 million subscribers who've been watching him unbox and play with toys for years.
Kids are really plugged into YouTube. That's where they're getting their content, and so that's where we want to make sure you can see all these amazing toys as well.
Another YouTuber, the TikTok toy family, is launching toys for the first time this year. The family produces skits for nearly 3 million subscribers.
The Justice Department has approved a merger between T-Mobile and Sprint. The $26 billion deal still faces a review by a federal district court, and consumer advocates worry the industry consolidation, that is, will lead to higher prices. The resulting company would be the third largest U.S. wireless carrier with about 90 million customers. Records fell on Wall Street following some strong earnings reports. The Dow Industrials added 51 points, ending the week at 27,192. The Nasdaq Composite and the S&P 500 both closed at record highs, gaining 91 and 22 points respectively.
Quentin Tarantino takes us back to Hollywood in the late 60s with his new movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
David Daniel has a preview.
Me an actor?
No, I'm a stuntman.
Look at me! Brad Pitt takes the falls for Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Cliff here is meant to help carry the load.
Is that how you describe your job, Cliff?
What, carrying his load? Yeah, it's about right.
They're willing to do whatever it takes.
You could do anything you want to him. Throw him off a building, right? Light him on fire. Hit him with a Lincoln, right? Get creative. Do whatever you want. He's just happy for the opportunity.
But it's not so easy.
Line. Cut! Embarrass yourself like that in front of all those people.
Margot Robbie co-stars as Sharon Tate, the most famous victim of the Manson family murders.
I'm Sharon Tate. I'm in the movie. You're in this? That's me. I play Miss Carlson, the klutz.
Writer-director Quentin Tarantino says he plans to direct one last film after this before his filmmaking retirement.
It's official, old buddy. Well, it has been.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And of course, watch for Wanake's Michael Moe.
That's right.
As Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
All right, there's more to come at 4, including a look inside the new elephant enclosure at the Milwaukee Zoo.
And then coming up tonight at 5, a new bill would make menstrual products more accessible in state and local buildings as well as at schools. We'll explain coming up at 5.
Well, take a look at this. There's nothing wrong with your TV set. These French bulldogs are actually green. The owner accidentally left the kitchen door open, and her curious canines discovered a bag of green food coloring while she was gone. Now they look like a puppy version of the Incredible Hulk, leaving green marks all over the kitchen and living room. She spent hours giving the dogs baths, but she still couldn't get rid of all the green in their fur.
Oh, naughty.
All over the floor.
Yeah, it's all over the floor.
Too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that is hilarious.
They're such cute dogs to begin with.
Yeah, they are. Well, we wanted to show you this stunning cloud formation. This is really cool, captured by a storm watcher.
So this time-lapse video shows a cloud formation ahead of a strong thunderstorm near the Canadian town of Rocky Mountain House. This is really, really cool. You can see that rain shaft off in the distance. What I think we're looking at here is kind of the underside of a shelf cloud. We've seen our fair share of shelf clouds across southern Wisconsin.
From a different angle.
Yeah, from a different angle. So we're really looking straight up almost at this thunderstorm, and the rain off in the distance, maybe a little bit of hail as well. That's what's creating that kind of rain shaft and hail shaft that we're seeing.
Neat.
Really, really neat stuff.
You expect a spaceship to come down from that.
Exactly. But it's Canadian, so it may be a little bit of a different name. I'm not sure. Yeah. I don't know what the translation or kind of monetary. You know what? This joke's not working. We're gonna just.
I'd help you out. I have no idea where you're going with this.
Me either. We're just gonna go right along into your first alert.
I'll help if I could.
Oh, happy Friday, everybody.
Indeed.
We actually could be talking about some thunderstorms, not Canadian, but American thunderstorms as we head into this weekend. Good afternoon. Hopefully you had a great Friday so far. We started off with some clouds and actually a few showers early this morning, and those showers and clouds kept temperatures relatively cool for this Friday. We are now in the lower to middle 80s, and we've seen some thunderstorms kind of redevelop north of Madison. Those should be out of here in the next hour or so. Not really too concerned about that. There is a slight chance for some showers and storms overnight, and as we head into this weekend, we'll have to dodge some more shower and thunderstorm chances. We'll go over those in just a little bit. So on Doppler track, we noticed that a severe thunderstorm watch well to the north and west across portions of Minnesota and far northeast, northwestern Wisconsin, that is, near Lake Superior there. We are also noticing those thunder showers really start to weaken as they get a little bit closer to Milwaukee, but don't be surprised if we maybe see a few more raindrops in spots like into Dodge County, moving a little bit closer to Watertown. So really the showers this morning didn't really do all that much. They were kind of here and then gone pretty quickly, and they were pretty light. Really, rain amounts estimated about 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch. Oh, that kind of looks like a face there. That's kind of fun. Fun Friday graphic there. July precipitation in Madison, we actually did pick up 0.01 inches of rain for today. So we haven't been rain-free this week, I guess. Technically, we're still well above normal for the month of July, and we still do have a few days to go to potentially add to that to get closer to 6 or 7 inches for this 7th month of the year. Rain chances probably dry into the overnight hours as we head into portions of Saturday, especially that late afternoon, early evening time frame. That's when some showers and thunderstorms could develop along a cold front there. So have the umbrella ready to go, and some of those storms could be a little bit on the strong to severe side. Some hail, some small hail, some gusty winds, maybe some heavy downpours and lightning are the main threats there. And then as we head into later portions of Sunday and Monday, another round of showers and thunderstorms are possible. So a lot of outdoor plans this weekend, a lot of festivals to look forward to across southern Wisconsin. There will be dry times, but we'll also have to plan around those thunderstorm chances as well. Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. A very, very nice Friday late afternoon taking shape with temperatures in the lower 80s once again for highs today, so about 2 degrees above normal for this time of year. And temperatures are still in the lower to middle 80s pretty much everywhere you look across southern Wisconsin. Some upper 70s, a little bit closer to that rain-cooled air. La Crosse made it to 90 today, so definitely a little bit warmer near the Mississippi River Valley. Dew points are starting to get a little bit more uncomfortable in spots like Madison, where it's at 73 degrees, and a whole lot more uncomfortable near Mineral Point, where that dew point is 70. Once we start to get into the 70s, remember, we get that tropical air, that tropical feel outside, and we don't even have any Mai Tais to celebrate. Anyway, high temperatures for the next couple of days, looking warmer in the upper 80s, closer to 90 degrees. Could feel like the low 90s at times this weekend with that humidity in place, but it does look much more comfortable as we head into next week, specifically the middle of next week, with highs in the upper 70s and lower 80s. For tonight, partly cloudy, a slight chance of a shower and storms, especially north of Madison. Temperatures in the upper 60s for lows. As we head into tomorrow, breezy, warm, and humid with afternoon showers and thunderstorms possible. Highs in the upper 80s. So on future track, we notice pretty quiet overnight. Again, a few raindrops possible north of Madison, but I think really we'll start to see those thunderstorms develop during the afternoon and evening hours once that heat and humidity starts to build up. We've seen this story before. Then as we head into Sunday, some more showers and storms possible during the later portions of Sunday into early Monday. Again, for tomorrow, not out of the question that a couple of those storms do end up being a little bit on the strong side to maybe even severe. So keep an eye to the sky tomorrow, stay weather aware, and then some more thunderstorms possible into portions of next weekend. But in between, we have another pretty long dry stretch shaping up with temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s. So by the middle of next week, I think another comfy stretch of weather is on the way.
You got it backwards. It's supposed to be nice on the weekends and rain during the week.
Yeah, I need to work on that. I mean, I can't think straight today at all, so I'll work on that.
I'm not going to put that pressure on you.
Yes, and then I'll work on the other thing.
All right. Thank you,
Thank you, Dave. Elephant exhibits are on the decline at accredited zoos and aquariums. In fact, only 62 zoos in the country now have elephants. The reason? Increased care requirements.
The Milwaukee County Zoo is one of the few places in the Midwest where you can still see elephants now. Ruth is a big fan of popcorn, but she has to work for it.
Excellent sense of smell, so they know what's what, whether it's popcorn in there, whether it's some other treat. They enjoy that.
It's one of the enrichment activities at the Milwaukee County Zoo as part of a new elephant exhibit. The outdoor enclosure alone is 1.6 acres, 4 times bigger than the former exhibit. The zoo made the upgrades because of increased care requirements put in place in 2011 by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, the accreditation group that sets care standards. Zoos must now have at least 3 elephants for socialization, something the Milwaukee Zoo is still working on. More specific guidelines for physical and psychological stimulation and barrier requirements between caretakers and elephants.
Anytime you give an elephant more space and a better environment in captivity, it's a good thing. When you call it state-of-the-art, that's kind of a misnomer. You know, there is no, once you put a fence up around a wild animal, state-of-the-art goes out the window.
Ed Stewart runs the Performing Animal Welfare Society, a California sanctuary that takes in abandoned, abused, or retiring wildlife.
The circus industry fell apart because people quit going, and they couldn't meet the humane requirements of performing with the elephants. I think, unfortunately, I think people are looking at all of captivity like that now.
Milwaukee is one of the few places in the Midwest to see elephants. Of the 236 U.S. accredited zoos, only 62 hold elephants. That's down from 77 15 years ago. Some zoos couldn't afford the required upgrades. Another reason for the decrease?
The mortality rate in zoos exceeds the birth rate.
Despite the cost and effort, the Milwaukee County Zoo decided it was worth it and raised half of the cost of the $16.6 million expansion within the community. The new exhibit was one of the main reasons Stephanie Goldstein brought her son during a recent visit from New York.
I don't want my son to only see elephants as a picture in a book.
A big fascination for the largest animal to currently walk the earth. Good for Milwaukee.
They're so incredible.
They're so smart.
Amazing, yeah.
They really are. Well, there's more to come at 4. We're going to find out why a group of Southern Wisconsin high school and college students is channeling the 1920s.
We're highlighting a Lining Stars Theater production of Chicago. When Michael Bruno will join us with that, too, when Live at 4 continues. this incredible?
This is very cool.
This is from Katmai National Park, I believe,
in Alaska.
In Alaska, of the grizzly bears getting a little snack.
Yeah, the salmon are running and lunch is served. Great video.
Yeah, that's an incredible picture. That's great to see. That bird doesn't seem to
They don't
completely
care.
calm.
They don't care.
Aligning Stars Theater brings the Roaring Twenties to life with its production of Chicago. And we're going to see a live scene from the show in just a little bit.
Aligning Stars is a summer theater program featuring high school and college-age performers, primarily from Stoughton and McFarland. Michael Bruno is here with a special guest.
Yes, this is Caitlin Curtin, and Caitlin is co-directing the production for Aligning Stars. And tell us a little bit about the production company, about Aligning Stars.
So Aligning Stars is really wonderful because you can start going into your freshman year of high school and continue all the way through college. So I started when I was a freshman in Fame.
Oh, that's a great show, too.
And then I've been performing since last year, and this is my first year co-directing and not performing with everyone else.
So it's students from McFarland and Stoughton high schools and postgraduates.
Yeah. So you can do it through college, which is really nice to come back with your friends from school and get to see everyone again. It's really one of the greatest experiences, and everyone's really a family. So I go to school for acting and directing now, so I get to pursue that passion with my friends again back home.
Oh, that's great. Is this your first time directing or co-directing?
I directed On the Town with Capital City Theater earlier this summer, and I'm co-directing this now, and I co-choreographed last year with Grace.
And is this production, now this is the high school version of Chicago, but it really does follow the storyline just as well as the professional company, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. It's just a little classier.
I was just going to say.
A couple of songs ought to be taken out.
Yeah, right, because some people might be surprised to do Chicago with a high school group.
Right, I was a little nervous at first, for sure, but the choreography is so classy, and we really follow Fosse's style, which is really, really wonderful. So it's a really great production for basically the whole family.
Mm-hmm. So what are the nuts and bolts of your organization? Is there like a board? You got president? How does this work?
So Dee Dee Bozek runs the company, and then she invites us back to direct with her. And Dee Dee does a really wonderful job of welcoming us all in, and she really runs this all by herself and does a wonderful job of everything.
11 years, and we haven't heard about it before.
No, I know. This is the first I've heard of it.
So here you go.
Yeah. Wonderful.
All right, so we're going to have a number here.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
First, we want to tell people that Aligning Stars Theater Production in Chicago runs tonight and tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at the Oregon Performing Arts Center. Tickets $15 for adults, $10 for seniors and students. For more information, go to OregonPerformingArtsCenter.com. Caitlin, thank you. And when we come back, a musical treat for us all.
Yeah, as Mark was just mentioning, from the show, from Chicago, 2 of the show's performers are going to join us here in the studio and sing Nowadays. That's when Live at 4 continues. Caitlin, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
There they are, ready to go. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Good afternoon. Here is your Friday First Alert traffic update. Taking a live look at Rimrock Road and the Beltline. We are seeing some slow go on the eastbound side. Westbound is looking pretty good right now. And as we take a look at our traffic map, we can see those delays stretching basically all the way to Stoughton Road on the eastbound Beltline back to Verona Road. Average speed of around 15 to 25 miles per hour. Also some slowdowns on Verona Road and Stoughton Road as well. We can see those drive times are really starting to tack on some minutes, 10 minutes, westbound John Nolan to Verona Road with an average speed of around 25 miles per hour. And that is your First Alert traffic update.
All right, Dave, thank you. Waylon McGuire from North Carolina had a prime idea for his Amazon-loving wife's birthday. No, this is not an Amazon Prime package. It's actually a cake decorated like a delivery box. His wife Emily says it made her laugh so hard. The cake was created by a shop called Sweet Dreams Bakery. Sure is. Well, the musical Chicago is being performed by high schoolers and some college students this weekend at the Oregon Performing Arts Center, as we just mentioned.
Joining us now are Tess Williams, McFarland High School junior Annika Hauser, and Stoughton High School graduate Bergen Gardner. They're all going to join us with a special performance of the song Nowadays. Ladies, take it away.
It's good, isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it nowadays? There's men everywhere, jazz everywhere, booze everywhere, life everywhere, joy everywhere. Nowadays, you can like the life you're living. You can live the life you like. You can even marry Harry, but mess around with Ike. And that's good, isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell?
Ladies and gentlemen, the McVicker Theater, Chicago's finest home of family entertainment, is proud to announce a first. The first time anywhere there has been an act of this nature. Not only one little lady, but two. You've read about them in the papers, and now here they are. A double-header. Chicago's own killer dillers, those two scintillating sinners, Roxy Hart and Velma Kelly.
It is Chicago, July 25th through the 27th at the Oregon Performing Arts Center. 7 o'clock tickets, $15 for adults, $10 for seniors and students. For more information, go to OregonPerformingArtsCenter.com.
And here's a look at your high-resolution Doppler. Most of the showers are north and east of Madison, and don't be surprised if we see a few more raindrops tonight, but really not looking at anything too major. Temperatures are a little bit cooler near that rain-cooled air in the 70s in Watoma and Juneau. The rest of us still in the lower to middle 80s, and that's where I expect those temperatures to stay for the next couple of hours. But eventually, tonight, partly cloudy. Can't rule out a slight chance of a shower, especially as we head into the overnight hours. Temperatures will fall into the upper 60s. As we head into tomorrow, those highs will be back into the mid to upper 80s. Could feel like the lower 90s at times. But then as we head into the afternoon and evening hours, temperatures will start to fall through the 80s, and showers and thunderstorms are possible. Some of those could be strong to severe, with a chance of some gusty winds, some small hail, heavy downpours, and frequent lightning. Then more shower and storm chances come with us on Sunday into early Monday morning. Mark and Susan?
All right, Dave, thank you. We have one more number from Chicago, the Aligning Stars Theater. Take it away.
You can live the life you like. You can even marry Harry, but mess around with Ike. And that's good, isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it? But nothing stays. In 50 years or so, it's gonna change, you know. But oh, it's heaven nowadays.
Great run. And tomorrow, here on Live at 4, we're going to look at why it's so expensive to rent an apartment in Madison.
And our film critic Will Loper will be here to tell us what he thinks of the new movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's coming up Monday on Live at 4. We'll be right back. Before we leave you for the week, we have to check in with our canine correspondents.
Lola and Louie have a great lineup of animal stories from around the world in this week's edition of the News Hounds Now Update.
It's News Hounds Now Update with Lola and Louie.
This week on the News Hounds Now Update, a true eagle-eye view.
Not your average bear.
And a very slow race.
But first, it's a panda party. What's better than one panda birthday celebration? How about 18? Folks at a nature reserve in southwest China threw a huge birthday party for all of the panda cubs turning 1 this year. There are 9 gals and 9 guys here, including 3 pairs of twins. All are healthy and, as you can see, pretty darn happy.
Florida Zoo Miami has released footage of a Linz two-tone sloth baby, the first of its species ever born at the zoo. The baby was born on July 16th following a 10-month pregnancy for mother Marge. The video, filmed just minutes after the sloth was born, shows the baby clinging to its mother and in true sloth form, not moving too fast. The newborn's gender and name have not been announced.
Speaking of slow going, over 160 snails slugged it out at the annual World Championships in the UK. Running, as it were, since the 1960s, the gastropod games are held on top of a table with a special damp cloth spread out on it. 3 circles mark the top, and the first snail to reach the outer circle wins. You can almost cut the excitement in the air with a knife. This year's winner, Sammy the snail, crossed the line first. Apparently slow and steady wins the race.
Bears at Glacier National Park in Montana are enjoying the scenery, especially this one. The bear seems to be having the time of his or her life. Park officials report that no bears were injured during the filming of this video. In fact, the bear galloped away at the end of his slide.
And finally, a photographer in Canada just wanted a close-up look at a flock of eagles. He ended up with a very rare bird's-eye view. James Williams planted his GoPro on a beach while fishing in British Columbia. The camera captured stunning shots of eagles feeding on fish. It turned surreal when one of the birds grabbed the GoPro and took to the